Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. Good to see you, Matrix. Can always count on you. So, that's a funny story. First here, very well. Maybe we should make a contest. The first one to put in the chat when the stream goes live, win some companion tokens. We could probably do that. I see we got Steven here, we got Martin. Welcome guys, welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream party. Let me know how is the balance with the music, my voice, and is there any robot sound? Should be good. Should be all right. So what do we have here? We got Bitcoin. And for those of you who were here last week, remember that we spoke about Bitcoin. And we spoke about Bitcoin the 11th. So right here. And you can see we have had quite a move since then. But to be honest, it's not that much. What is that? Maybe 15-20%? But it's not that much. I mean, you gotta keep context. But by all means, this is not bad at all. But it is like we talked about. Bitcoin could easily go to 20K, can easily go to 25K, might even be able to go to 30K, and still, you know, head downwards after that. So we're here to talk about that today. We're here to talk about how we're gonna make money from this. I see we got PK in the chat. Welcome, mate. Okay. We got some requests for price action. Sure, let's talk about price action. And Ethereum too. All right. So, first of all, last week when we spoke was before this. It was trading roughly here. And what I noticed was this curve. And that curve, as I've told you many times, this is price action, by the way, just so we're clear. We're talking about price action. We're talking about the specific candles here moving like this, upward fashion. If you look at this, you will see that what happened here is very different from everything else, from what you saw here, what you saw here, what you saw here, and what you saw here. This is completely different behavior from the rest of it. So that's the first point to pay attention to, is that it changed. The behavior changed. Why would the behavior change? The behavior changed because that the situation changes, that the market dynamics of the balance of the buyers and the sellers changes, right? So someone came in and they wanted to buy some Bitcoin, and they wanted to buy a lot for whatever reason, to either just to buy it because they think it's a good price, could be because they're trying to squeeze a bunch of shorts, which they did here. We don't need to know why. It doesn't really matter. All that matters is what happened on the chart and what is happening in the market. And we try to use context in the world around us and what the market is doing to try to build some sort of concept about what's happening here. That's all we're always doing. All we can ever do in trading is use the context of the market and the environment and draw conclusions from that. That's all we can ever do. So last week we had this, and that turned out to be quite a push. And yes, I did long this, and the reason I longed it was because I told you. Remember we talked about the RTD algorithm last week, and we talked about it had just pushed above here right before we had it. It just came above. We spoke about the previous fake out, which got dumped down, and then now it came again. And we spoke about that if something moves above the trend and start to establish a trend like this after a fake out and just the general compression of the long-term trend, that's just that pressure just being removed. Well, once the local trend starts to go above the global trend and we have an uptrend starting, then we have this scenario where we can expect, or not expect, but what can you say? We can build a thesis around what is happening in the environment and what's going to happen if the price keeps going up. In this case, there was a bunch of shorts which got pushed out. And if you had looked at the open interest, you could have said that, okay, clearly a lot of people are massively short down here, and they will be easy to squeeze. Because this dump was it was 100% FTX. Okay, so let's move on. This is what happened in the past, but it's important to understand what happened in the past to understand also what's happening right now. So what I see right now is happening. Do you see what's happening here? At this part? All right. So we had this. And now we got this situation. And a couple of things can happen from here. Okay, a couple of things can happen. anything can always happen at any time in the market. And what you see is that this neutral level didn't really act as resistance. It pretty much pushed straight through the next day. So no sellers to be found here. Not that the buyers couldn't handle. So we got to keep that in mind. All right, keep that in mind, because usually when a neutral level gets killed, meaning that it goes, the price action, the market, the candles, they go straight through the levels, it means that we're not really seeing the order blocks and the traders engage with this level as we expected. So what does that mean? Well, that means if no one really sold big volume down here, then no one is really looking to buy back big volume here. Yes, 20K might be a good buy, but there's something that also happens a lot in these scenarios with these pumps. Look at this. Okay, just context. Now this was a different time, but have a look at it. Right? So we want to keep that in mind. I think there's a very real chance that Bitcoin squeezes up a little bit more and then either stops at 20K and rebounds up like this, or goes through and tests this level again. 17,500. Oh, that's some terrible errors. Right. So I think there's a very real chance of this happening. And that's kind of a dilemma. And the reason that is dilemma is because we need to know if we should be buying this or not buying this. And that really depends on how the market moves down to this level. If it goes up and then it starts to like consolidate here, I think 20K is a good buy. If it goes up and it nukes down, I'm not sure you want to be buying 20K. I think there's a good chance it will go lower and it might even punish people completely. I've seen this so many goddamn times. I've seen so many times the market just completely scam everyone. And the reason the reason this happens is because it's very profitable. And if you look at the current situation of the crypto markets, you have Binance, and there used to be FTX. They used to be a big player. Now FTX is gone. So that means it's kind of Binance running the show. And of course, Coinbase is a very legit exchange. Coinbase is personally the exchange that I watch the most. So it's kind of Coinbase and Binance. It's kind of Coinbase and Binance we want to be watching here. But with FTX gone, it means that these guys can much easily do what they want to do, whatever that might be. So how do we make money from it? Well, we make money from it by understanding the different scenarios that can play out. So if this were to just from here nuke straight down, I think 20K is a buy. But if it starts to go higher, let's say 22,500, 23K, something like that, and then let's see, hang on, let's move to the side, and then it just goes straight like this. I am, to be honest, not sure I want to be buying 20K. I think there's too many people that will be waiting to get liquidated here. I think there's too much volume they can push through, and we're gonna see, a much greater pullback down to 18,750, 17,500. I don't know, but this could get very nasty. So we wanna pay attention to how this unfolds. Now, this does look a lot, like 20K Bitcoin. Sorry, the 2019 push. I'm gonna go have a look at that in a moment. It does look a lot like that, and I'll show you why. Okay, so we don't need the trend right now, but you can see that the local trend is strong. The global trend is strong. There is plenty of room here for Bitcoin to pull back to 20K, 18K, or 17,500 and still be an uptrend. Okay, just keep that in mind. And that's why you really should consider that it might be a nasty scenario, meaning that 20K doesn't hold and it just, you get like a death candle. There's a real possibility of that. Now, if this thing just keep going like this in this range, keep moving up like that, then we're gonna get a similar result like we saw here last week when we looked at that coiling, you know, where you can see that the market is coiling up. That's pretty much what's happening here right now. All the dips, everything that's being sold, I've been watching this very closely. I also been trading it very closely. And if you pay attention to the general structure of everything that's happening here, is that this is being bought, this is being bought, bought. They bought this, they bought this, they bought this. They're keeping it alive. They keep buying for now. What you don't want to do is that you don't want to get stuck inside of here and trade this. You don't want to get stuck in trying to margin long the breakout. You don't want to get stuck trying to margin long, margin short the breakdown. You need to wait for a reaction here. Okay, don't get caught up in this inside here. It's not very profitable, I will tell you that. It's what you need to do is that you need to wait for a reaction, and depending on how that reaction happens, meaning that if it goes up here and then down, maybe you don't want to buy it. If it goes down to 20k from here, you could be interested in buying it, meaning that you don't get some kind of big blow off here. You just get a straight direction down to 20k from where it is now. Imagine that this just kind of turns over like this. It's a buy. It's a buy in my book. If we instead get something like this, I'm not sure it's a buy. And you really just want to be paying attention. So, you know, not the easiest, definitely not the easiest. And that's why there's so many people that's going to get wrecked in this. Now, let's go have a look at Ethereum. Now, I think Ethereum is doing a little bit better. Okay, so first, before we look at Ethereum, it looks the same as Bitcoin, but let's have a look at the main driver of Ethereum, which is Ethereum BTC. Right, so what is the trend doing? Trend is trying to start an uptrend here, right? You can see we're trying. It kind of looks like the Bitcoin, you know, where we had to push. Okay, we need a new song. So we're starting a trend here, meaning that Ethereum might truly, you know, start to outperform Bitcoin now, because if you've been paying attention, it hasn't really done its crazy moves yet. And usually when we see any kind of consolidation moving off from the bottom, in the start, Bitcoin is not going, Bitcoin will lead and Ethereum will just kind of keep up with the pace. And then what happens is that Bitcoin starts to consolidate and you will see Ethereum most of the time will start to run, right? So I think Ethereum has a lot more room than Bitcoin probably. It also looks different. So I think there's a good chance to see Ethereum go to 2K from here. I think that's a good chance. I think there's a higher chance that Ethereum goes to 2K from here than Bitcoin going to 30K, something like this. But that's also two, you know, can't really compare those two sizes, because the move from Bitcoin, that's a 20% move. No. I mean, if Bitcoin want to go 30K, that's quite a move. That's like 50% move. If Ethereum want to go 2K, what's that? 20%? 25? So it's half. So yeah, I think Ethereum looks good. I think the RTD on Ethereum BTC looks good. I think if Bitcoin just stagnate and it doesn't move, you know, it just keeps doing what it's doing here, Ethereum will run for sure. And you will see it go to 1750 first, and then you will see 2K. That's what I think. Because look at this, okay? Look at that build up, right? But look at how little action here. If you compare that, let's go find Bitcoin again. And then we're gonna talk about companion, guys. So, just, okay, I guess they're kind of similar. They're not that different. They're not that different. But comparing to how Ethereum usually pushes, this is not much. You should expect more from this, in my opinion. that's all depending on that it doesn't all completely crash and burn. Okay, so those are my point of views. I think if Bitcoin has led the way, Ethereum is going to pick up and it's going to outperform Bitcoin a bit from here. But when Bitcoin starts going down or starts going up, Ethereum will follow. So okay, guys. Wow, 15 minutes in. Time flies. I have good news about Companion. I'm bringing you good news about Companion tonight. I have talked with my CTO, Andrew, and he says peer-to-peer property will be launched next week. Actually, I asked him, can we launch next week? He said yes. So next week, hopefully, we will push out the peer-to-peer. We have done a lot of changes here in the end. It was a good product, but we have improved it a lot more, so it just becomes easier to use. One of the things that we have done is that before, when you went to the peer-to-peer exchange, it required you to sign up as a user before you could browse, before you could browse the different offers and what people had to buy and sell. So now we moved it so that you don't have to sign up before you can see all the peer-to-peer orders available. So you can literally go to app.companion.to, create a wallet in like 2 seconds, go to the peer-to-peer market and buy crypto. It's good to see the UK boys represented tonight. Hello, guys. Okay. So, one of the challenges we have is that people need Solana in their wallet. People need Solana in their wallet to use the peer-to-peer marketplace. So what we're trying to do is that... Oh, I have more good news. So what we're trying to do is that we're trying to make it an experience for people to buy Solana the first time. Because you need Solana to use the wallet. So how it's going to work is that when you go to the peer-to-peer market the first time, you will see all these different people selling Solana around the world. And then you're going to look for someone in your country. And then you will buy Solana from them directly. And Companion will act as escrow, so you can't get scammed. That's the good part. So you'll be able to buy Solana, and after that it will be sent to your wallet, and you can now use the wallet. You can swap, you can do whatever you want. And that's really cool, because otherwise when people right now have to get started with, the Companion wallet or get Solana, it's very difficult. It's confusing, I used to be like a Bitcoin maximalist. And when I first started diving into altcoins, I was just like, what the hell is going on with this stuff? It's just very difficult. MetaMask, BAC network, and whatever, all these things. It's incredibly complicated. We need to make it so streamlined, so easy to use that people have no reason to open a bank account anymore. They just want to use the Companion wallet, and somehow we're gonna find out to give people a credit card attached to it. Because once we can replace banks and we can go out and market Companion as your own bank, controlled by yourself, then we are competing with real banks, and we have built a streamlined product that can actually replace that part. So I think that's very exciting. Now, Glassur Muffin is asking, are we going to see a browser option in the wallet? But do you want a browser option in the wallet? What do you mean exactly? Because right now, when you go to the exchange, for example, in the app, it is using the built-in browser in our Flutter application to do that. So if you would like a browser, you would most likely use the browser on your phone, rather than the built-in browser. But maybe you're thinking about something else, like a browser so you can connect to other apps or something like this. yeah, if you want to use it on a DEX, it should, you know, so you should be able to, you know, for another DEX to connect to our wallet, they need to integrate our wallet first to connect it. Once they do that, we can pop that DEX in the app store, in the companion app gateway, and you'll be able to access it from there. But they need to integrate our code first to allow it. Not a huge operation. It can definitely be done. Steve says, buying Solana or USDC direct on the app would be a great feature and make adoption much quicker. I agree. And that's really, you know, guys, that's why things are a little bit slow, you know, because we are laying, you know, like the groundwork of this bridge, right? We're starting to build this bridge, and there's a lot of things we have to do. We have to build the you know, the fundament, fundament. Is that a Danish word or English word? I'm not sure, but in Danish we say fundament, which is like the concrete floor of the thing, right? So you gotta lay the concrete first, and you gotta put the, you know, okay, honestly I don't know how you build a bridge. I'm not gonna pretend I know how to build a bridge, but I guess somewhere along the road you use some steel, and then you put, you know, some asphalt, and then you can go over. And my point is that we're building that bridge, but we're building it from the ground up, and it takes time. But we have the, you know, we have like the base construction done, which is the wallet itself. And yes, the wallet is not always like the fastest wallet. It's not always like the, you know, the greatest wallet. And we haven't tried to make the greatest wallet. We have built the absolute basic that is necessary for people to open a new, you know, crypto wallet, and from our app directly engage with our apps, like the exchange, like the staking feature, the referral features, the upcoming peer-to-peer market, and then the AI experience that's gonna have. Now I have really good news about the AI experience. What if I told you that the best AI in the world will be integrated into Companion? The same base engine that runs ChatGPT free as ChatGPT will be built in. And the reason we're able to do this is because we have an amazing engineering team. So you will have, we're moving really close to actually offer an amazing AI experience in the app that rivals, you know, even the best in the business. Not our making, but it will be our data set, and it will be our middle layer between the AI service and the companion app. That is where we will create a unique difference. Okay, so we need a new song. Hang on. And this is not just fast. This is legit, you know, I've been waiting for this to happen. I knew this was gonna happen. I absolutely knew that these AI services would be built and we would be able to utilize them in the app. And this is coming much sooner than I actually thought. So that's super exciting, you know. It's super great. I honestly use ChatGPT all the time myself. I use it for all kind of things. Like, it's incredible. It's really good. It's really good. It's so amazing that we have arrived at technology that's so good that, you know, it's literally like you have a free employee, or, you know, you have a free worker. And just think about what this is going to look like in 10 years. Guys, we're living in the most exciting time of humanity, getting to experience the best part of humanity just because we were born in the right year. I mean, think about if you were born 200 years ago, or 100 years ago, or 1,000 years ago, your life would be substantially worse, substantially shit. And there would be no cell phones, there would be no 4G, there would be no ChatGPT, there would be none of all this stuff. The only reason that it's coming alive now is because of years of evolution and, you know, technology progress and we get to see it. Our generation. It's incredible. I mean, there's so much to be excited about. All we gotta do, guys, is build a user-friendly experience. Make a great user experience, allowing people to control their own money and give people the help of AI to help them manage their life. And then we're just gonna push it out. And this is really good, because what it does also on an AI level is that it creates competition. So there's other people out there who's gonna look to AI and say, hey, these guys just released this model, we should release our model as well. And they will start to compete, and they're gonna create better AI services. And the best part is that most of this will be free. And the reason it will be free is because you will be the product. All right, let's see. We got some questions here. Glassur Muffin asks, will there be a replacement of Serum where we can swap tokens at market price with anyone else who wants to buy our token? So let me just hang on. Will there be a replacement of Serum where we can swap our tokens at market price without anyone else who wants to buy our tokens? Well, that's kind of the situation. I mean, the way that the companion exchange works now compared to how it worked on the old Serum, it's the same. There's no different. You can still use the swap, you can still use the market. Nothing has really changed. All you need is that there has to be a willing buyer to buy your tokens at the price that you want to sell at. Otherwise, you can't sell that price. You have to find, there has to be a buyer in the market who want to buy them. Okay. Stitcher is saying it's not critical, but when will prices be shown correct on the staking app? Okay, let's talk about that after I have a water break. I'm still fasting every Wednesday, every Monday. It's not great, but it's very effective. It's really like, it makes you appreciate life more. Now, to the question. When will price be shown correct in the app? So let me explain why it's not shown correct. You probably remember when we launched the token and it came out, it was listed on CoinMarketCap, it was listed on CoinGecko relatively fast. Price was updating correctly, everything was fine. This was on the Serum exchange. The problem is that Serum was basically FTX, or part of it. Yeah, I mean, it is. Sam created Serum. And, as we switched away from using Serum to starting to use the new exchange backends, which is open book, there's just a lot of features, a lot of small things that has to be coded by the open book team in order to make it communicate with CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap. But I know that they're working on this right now, so it will come. It's not going to be that long, but maybe like 1 or 2 weeks. Okay, so that's coming back, and I know it's important. I know it's important people can find the companion token, and I know it's important for the community. It's also very important for me. I just can't do anything right here because there has to be coded an add-on to the open book setup, and we just don't have the access to do that. We're not in that team, unfortunately. Okay, so moving along, let's see. An idea for the community. Could we put together a video on the benefits of AI and what it can do? When people see what we've seen, it's a game changer. Absolutely, we can do a video on it. I would love to get a little bit further with like an MVP of the companion in the app. Like if we could build an actual demo of showing like the app integration with the AI and this thing working together would be really nice. So Sean is saying ChatGPT is awesome, but scary for the future with regards to employment for everyone. The biggest joke is that computers have started asking humans to prove they aren't robots. So the funny thing is, you know, a lot of people, when they've been talking about AI, have been making the argument that the first jobs to go is the manual labor, you know, driving trucks or working in a factory or things like this. That would be the first jobs to be replaced. And the last jobs to be replaced would be the creative jobs, the artists, the musicians, and so on. And that's just not happening at all. You know, instead, we're getting this super great AI for creating art as well. And, you know, even like creating poems, or I'm sure there's a music AI out there as well. And all of these are going to be a million times better at creating art or music in the you know, in this genre that each individual like. So it's a little bit weird to see that those jobs that was expected to be safe are the ones that's least safe. And I think that is the part about the AI revolution that no one will see coming. They will not understand which job will be replaced. They will not, you know, all of this logical thinking, radical thinking from humans about which jobs will be taken first or what makes sense. Forget it. This is the AI revolution. So you gotta look at what happened back in the days when people lost their job during the Industrial Revolution, you know, when they needed less people to work in the factory, when they needed, when horses no longer could do, you know, when they didn't need horses anymore because they had cars and so on. Well, I think I mentioned this last time as well. Just because a job gets taken away doesn't mean that it's the end for these people. But you do have, I mean, you will have to consider some sort of universal basic income. And I think that would be great. You know, I am from Denmark, and in my country, we have a huge problem with the bureaucracy of people. Managing people, you know, we have 5.5 million people in Denmark, maybe more now, I don't know. And about 1 million people is basically paid by the government. But the problem is that there's so, and that's a problem in itself. But the second problem is that the amount of resources and effort that goes into just managing those 1 million people, making sure they get the right amount of money, they are not cheating with the, you know, they're not cheating with their benefits and, you know, all these things. They found out in Denmark that it's such a huge task just to manage these unemployed people that we're spending like insane amount of money on it. So it would be a much better approach to say that everyone gets the same. Everyone gets a base salary, base money paid out every single month, a basic income that covers, you know, all the essential needs, food, shelter, medicine, stuff like this. And the beauty of this is that it's just enough to cover your absolute essentials. You're not gonna get more than that, because the whole point is that if that's all you want in life, then that's your life. But it should want you to push for more in life, and it should give you the opportunity and the freedom to, you know, to actually make it happen. You know, the problem is a lot of people cannot go out and start their own business. So we're talking about jobs being taken away, right? Jobs are leaving. Humans have no jobs. What are they gonna do? Well, they're just gonna die if they don't get a salary, right? Especially in countries like America, where there's like no security net at all. Well, these people will just die. So you have to do something when they lose their job, like en masse, right? Like imagine just like 50 million people without a job. Well, what the fuck are you gonna do? You're gonna have to do something. So the best would be a basic income for everyone. Everyone gets the same amount. It will be much easier to manage. It will save so much money on resources and bureaucracy and all these problems. So as people lose their job, they're gonna get money in their hands, but just enough to survive. But that will give them enough time and what is it called? It will give them, you know, enough time to find out what they're gonna do with life, what they're gonna do, how they're gonna make money, what can they actually do. And in my opinion, what I have found is that what people should be doing is really like build a business or build a work around the things that they love the most. So if you love, you know, to go golfing, and that's just your thing, you love to golf, that's all you do, whenever you have time off, you go golfing, and you lose your job, well, a person like that should probably build a business around golfing, you know, because you're gonna, you know, it would be great for them to work with something they love every day. They can wake up, they can work with something, you know, that really matters to them, that makes them happy, and makes them want to wake up in the morning and go to a job that actually has meaning for them. So I think a lot of this suffering and these terrible work ethics and all this stuff that's happening right now, I think a lot of it is going to improve, but it's going to probably get worse before it gets better, but it will improve. It has to. Oh man, I can keep talking, guys. Oh boy, we even have US Open already. Did we get a move on that? And guys, please, if you have any questions, just put them in the chat. Oh. It's not a great candle. I'm not sure what this is, but so far it's just consolidating. Yeah, okay. So that was US Open. Yeah, that was US Open. Into here, then down to here, and then I don't know. For example, look at this resistance level here. And if we go to like 15 minutes, I think it will be a neutral level. You can see how this neutral level has just not really been respected at all. Okay, I mean, to a degree, you know, you can see here, okay, initially, yes. Here, it stopped really respecting it. Here was some, but then around here, it just kind of started to being invalidated. And that's really important to pay attention to, because what it means is that it's not providing any resistance at all. It's the price action is not respecting this level anymore. To me, that tells me that the buyers are in control up here. And if they start pushing beyond this extension 1 here, 2,635, then there's a very good chance, because it's already been consolidating into resistance. So there's a very good chance that if it pushes beyond this level, that it will do this trip to 25, 22.5 or 23K or something like this. Oh yeah. Okay. There was a lot of volume in this candle. Okay, so this looks more bullish. There's a If this continue up here, if it passes this, there's a good chance it will keep going. And why is that? Because whenever we have a push up like that and gets rejected down like this, and then it starts reversing up again, and it gets to this point, that's strength. That shows that we have a buyer in the market. Let's see. Do you guys have some coins we should have a look at? If you have some coins we could have a look at, put it in the chat. All right, we got a coin. Solana. I think everyone regrets not buying Solana at $8. I think everyone regrets not buying this goddamn coin. Then we'll look at DXY. But Solana is starting to show cracks here. But Jesus Christ. Some people got very wrecked from this. So Solana, I think there's a good chance to test 12.5 again. When? Could be days, could be weeks. Most likely weeks. Martin is suggesting DXY? You mean... Oh. Hey Paul, welcome to the live stream. The companion conference in 2023 will be here in Phuket, Thailand. It would be great if you could make it. And we will have more details on this coming. So yeah, it will... You know, we have an international airport in Phuket. You'll be able to land, and it will probably be 15-20 minutes away from the airport. So should be a good opportunity to make it. Okay, let's see. DXY. Martin says he's surprised that it hasn't retraced yet. Let's see. Yeah, that is quite a bleed. If 98 goes, there's a real chance that this just dives heavily. Let's see, it's already in downtrend, right? Yeah, it's been in downtrend for quite a while, since early November. What about the wicks? Oh boy. Well, we'll probably get something soon. The same on SPX. Is Bitcoin moving a little bit? Okay. Starting to push a little bit. Let's see if it has what it takes. Okay, back to the SPX. SPX at 4,000. I don't think Jay Powell is going to be happy with that. I think they will probably come out with some statement from the Fed or whatever to just notch it a little bit down. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think, I mean, it's not that it couldn't go 4.4K. It definitely can. Anything can happen in the market. I just think that there's enough political motivation to make sure that it will be temporary at best. Bitcoin on the move. Here we go. That's a push with some volume. Nice curve. These guys are gonna have to keep buying if they want to move it up. So let's see if they have what it takes. But a lot of times with these breakouts, they're just very slow, you know, like they can really take like a long time. Like as you can see here, before we start to get any huge breakout, it can really curve up for a long time. So I'm not sure, but it looks promising, right? So now we are pushing into here. That's like the first. This is kind of like the first level it needs to take, 21,400. And it kind of needs to hold this level as well for it to mean anything. The first signal we're going to have that this will be a bigger move today will be above extension 1 here. Once it starts, not just like going up, but like just staying above this level, 21,562. That's going to be a very good indication that it's going to make a move. Then the question is what this kind of move is going to be. Is it just going to fly to 22, 23, 25K? Or will it be like we talked about, this kind of move? Could be. It's a very common move. It's very common in Bitcoin. But yeah, right now pushing. So let's see if they can hold it. Doesn't look so bad. They're gonna need some more volume if they want to do this. But who knows? Maybe they have infinite money. I mean, it's definitely been looking like that. I know on Twitter as well, people have been talking about these infinite money market makers who just keep buying and just keep holding the market up. And I've seen it many times. I've seen this so many times, and it's like when you least expect it, they will come out with like a big sell and they will take out everyone. So it's tricky, you know. It's hard not to get caught up in buying here, trying to go for 25K or 30K. It's not that you can't do it and maybe you'll be lucky, but you have to consider that there's a ton of people right now sitting in long positions on Bitcoin from 17K, 16K, 18K, and they're watching Bitcoin constantly. And they're trying to find out if they should close their position or not close their position. And yeah, it's kind of PvP like that. It's not looking so bad. So you see that now we have this 1 minute candle here standing on top of this neutral level. That's like the first sign that we have like a respectable buyer that's generally interested in pushing, you know, buying more, pushing this higher. That's like your first sign. You can see it here. It's starting to curve up now. Let's see if we get a big push into this area. And then if it pushes through 21,600, then I think we're gonna see a bigger move. So this is the level we're paying attention to right now, 21,400. This is kind of make it or break it. They're definitely going for it. What about Ethereum? All right, guys, we are running out of time. So if you have any final questions, get it in the chat. Otherwise, stay tuned for next week. We'll do another live stream, and hopefully we'll have the peer-to-peer market available at that time. How about the music tonight? How many, from 1 to 10, how many stars are we giving it? I think it's pretty good. You should have monthly subscription for TradingView. I'm not even using TradingView. Oh, you mean the X mode indicator on TradingView? Yeah, but it's a lot of work for oh wow, that's a sexy rating, Martin, huh? So it's a lot of work to manage a monthly subscription for X mode on TradingView. So now we don't want to see this get taken, okay? So what we're paying attention to, we don't really want to see any more digging below this level here. It should hold here and should push up. If it starts to fuck around down here now, it's not the greatest sign. I mean, it's 1 minute time frame, but 1 minute time frame will tell you a lot of details about the market. Yeah, we do have a yearly plan. We have an annual plan for X mode on TradingView. You can see that respecting this very well. Okay, last minute Euro GBP 1 hour. Euro GBP 1 hour. Right, so let's pull back. I personally use Navigate on my phone a lot. Like I'm not even like joking. I have to, from the Safari browser in the Navigator app, you can save it as a bookmark on your phone, and then you can open it and it will work. And that's what I use. It works well, and it's no problem. I use it on my boat. I use it when I'm driving. I just close it and reopen it if there's any issues, and you will have a save chart feature that's gonna save all your data, so it's there when you reload. It's auto save is, I think it's every minute or second minute. Okay, EUGBP 1 hour. Okay, so what do we have? We have a big candle down. Now it's time to see some recovery here. What we want to see, okay? What we want to see is this. Candle down like this, and then a grind up like that. That's strength, okay? So that's what we want to see here. So we want to see this start to grind up like this. How is it looking? I mean, this is technically what you should be buying. The question you gotta ask you is that, are you buying the best Euro pair? How about Euro USD or Euro JPY or any other Euro pair? That's what you want to pay attention to, is, are you buying the best pair? Are you buying the strongest pair? And if you look at this trend, it's not the strongest, it's kind of low, but it should be able to provide a bounce. And Bitcoin, what is Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin is back here now, okay? Not super great. Ideally, when you start to get a move above the range like this, you want to see a strong move that push through. You don't want to see too much fuckery around this neutral level like this. Like you don't want to see that. You don't want to see that. We don't want to see that. You don't want to see that. Because if you see that, it means there's a very good chance this or this happening again, which means it's just going to go down and it's going to consolidate more and then start to move up again. Which is not bad if you're long from 17,000 or 16,000 or whatever, but this is the kind of things to pay attention to. All right, guys. It's been a pleasure to live stream party with you tonight. Hope you enjoyed the music. Hope you enjoyed the conversation. And I will see you again next week. And yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, and all of those things. What is that? Like, subscribe, comment. That'd be great. I hope you guys have a great Wednesday. And yeah, just remember, stay patient in life. Things will come to you. All right, friends. Let's see if it can hold this level. Probably not. All right, guys, I gotta go for tonight. I hope, yeah, I already did my outro. Okay, boys, see y'all.